not just something that I disagree with, something that is anti-democratic, and he's supporting an insurrectionist. So my sympathy is non-existent if shit happens. I don't care. So what?
You think somebody who expresses anti-democratic opinions on X should be shot?
Should be? No. Number one, people on X, if you work at this platform, are from all over the world. People are welcome to express whatever opinions. They're totally different countries and groups of people, whatever. Number two, if you're supporting a guy who tried to lead an insurrection against the government, should you be shot? I probably don't think so, and I don't think that's good. But if you are shot, am I going to lose any sleep over it? No, and I'm probably going to fucking make fun of you if it happens because it's fucking hilarious.
Do you hear what you're saying?
Do you hear what you're saying? Hold on. Why do I need to accept civility from people that are supporting an insurrectionist? Give me one positive argument there. Oh, wait.
I didn't hear what you said because I was still stuck on you find it fucking hilarious that somebody got shot.
Oh, okay. I thought conservatives loved humor. My bad. Let me know when I'll hit the second point up if you are still stuck on that one.
Is that your sense of humor?
That when people support an insurrectionist and then they get shot and they're like, wait, what? Violence at the rallies for the guy that's saying we need to overthrow the Constitution? Yeah, that's funny to me.
Would it be funny if, insurrection, you're saying it's funny because you think this guy supports an insurrection. You have no idea his actual full views and opinions. But if
I know that he supports a candidate that tried to lead an insurrection against the government.
Can I fucking finish? Okay.
Well, just don't misrepresent what I say. Jeez.
Okay, so if there's an insurrection, say, such as any of these invasions of capitals from leftist protesters, if they were shot, you think that would be like, would it be cool if I thought it was funny that people got killed because they were doing something I didn't like or didn't agree? Like, I'm just trying to figure out if you're actually just trolling for.
Jeez. Well, hold on. Let me think about that for a moment. Would I actually think it would be funny if leftists were to get shot at protests where they were engaging in violence and where they were opposed to like institutions like democracy? Ooh, I don't know, Chief. I'll get back to you on that one. I'm not sure how I would feel about that. You know, I definitely don't have a huge history of being incredibly critical towards communists and socialists who engage in anti-democratic behavior.
Critical is not the same as supporting murder or laughing.
I didn't say I supported murder. I just said it was funny.
Laughing at murder, that's a lot different than being critical.
I think some of it is kind of funny, and I will laugh at it. The fact that one of the people that Rittenhouse killed was a fucking pedophile, I think that's kind of funny. That Rittenhouse was like 18 and he shot a dude that fucking touched kids when he was trying to touch Rittenhouse. I think that's kind of funny, personally. And I bet you did too. But when it happens to your side, all of a sudden it's the worst fucking thing in the world, huh? Crazy how that works. Yeah, I do think it's funny sometimes.
This guy was peaceful. He wasn't committing any crimes. He wasn't assaulting
I understand.
anybody.
Yes, he was peacefully supporting an insurrectionist.
He was
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. You can peacefully do a whole bunch of shit he wasn't protecting his family. Okay.
Oh, really? He wasn't on top of his family, protecting them from bullets.
I'm sure he was on top of something after he got shot and fell over. Yeah, but no, I don't give a fuck what he was doing after. He should have been at a fucking rally supporting an insurrectionist, in my opinion. Wants you to BLM debate at some point or whatever, we could do it.
Okay,
but I didn't come here to talk about BLM.
I take it back. You said you didn't come here to talk BLM. Acknowledge that. Fine, no problem. If you let me finish, can you discuss these points with someone who you think is worthy, who maybe has a bigger
for the insurrection stuff? You can voice as many fucking people as you want in here. 100% sure, go for it.
Okay, so we have some speakers in the room. They're willing to chat. So, whoever. If you want to put your hand up, there's Lauren, there's Clint. He came up first, so maybe.
I just had a quick question for Stephen because his screenshots I'm blocked, so his screenshots of his tweets yesterday have been going viral, and I'm just genuinely curious if he is at all concerned with the trajectory of political violence escalating. His reaction, his immediate reaction. Well, I'd imagine that much of it was in jest. It's obviously very inflammatory. I'm personally concerned about the climate in this country. I think that we're inching ever more closely to a potential, civil war or something crazy like that. Is that a concern? I mean, you talk about insurrection, you talk about the dangerous precedent of Donald Trump and where this is all headed. Are you open to political violence at this point? Because it seemed like it, and that doesn't strike me to be your character. So I wanted to clarify.
I am very concerned about political violence in this country and the road to political violence. And you conservatives have been screeching for it nonstop. So I'm not going to be the cuck on the left, to your guys' terms. I'm not going to be the cuckold on the left who's crying and screaming for pump the brakes, guys, no violence, it's civility time, blah, blah, blah. While you guys on the right engage in the most absurd forms of reality denialism. While you guys say that January 6th was a peaceful protest. When you guys say, oh, the Whitmer thing, that was all the FBI. The pipe bomb stuff, oh, that was all fake. Like, you guys won't take responsibility for fucking anything. And you're supporting literally the most divisive fucking president in all of recent history. And you guys are saying, well, it's just fucking epic and hilarious when he owns the libs. And when you've got Biden, who is like, when it comes to rhetoric, the most milquetoast fucking guy in the world. I don't even know if this guy has a fucking mean bone in his body. And the only picture I see of him posted over and over and over again is him with a close-up shot where there's red, white, and blue lights in the background and it's just the red, and you pretend that he's a dictator. Fuck you. I'm not going to be the one calling for the, oh, guys, we've got to be civil, like no fucking violence. No, that's fucking retarded. You guys can lead the way on that one because you sure as fuck have led the way on getting us to where we are now.
Well, Stephen, you debated me last year in Tennessee. I ran for vice president of the Libertarian Party. I'm not a conservative at all. So, well, your tirade may land with a different audience. It's not going to work on me.
Really? Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. Who are you supporting this election?
Who am I supporting? I haven't declared any support.
Really? What are you leaning to? If I were to go through your Twitter, how many critiques have you made of Donald Trump versus how many critiques have you made of Biden? What do you think if I were to guess?
Well, seeing as Biden's the president, it would probably be a lot more critiques towards the sitting president.
Oh, yeah, but not the one that's coming in that's running for president that was also a president for 4 years?
I've been very critical of Donald Trump. So
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay.
The name of my show is Liberty Lockdown. I'm very, very disappointed in the 2020 era. So odds of me supporting Trump openly or otherwise are pretty slim. But setting that aside, I'm glad to hear that you are concerned about political violence in this country. I just, at the same time, I don't understand your rhetoric yesterday or your response to the violence, basically applauding the loss of a voter for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. It strikes me as callous, to put it mildly.
Not as hard as it struck that guy. Just curious. So I'm just looking through your Twitter. Okay, you said it is a tremendously fraudulent case brought against the leading candidate to be the next president. You thought, which of the 4 cases against Donald Trump do you think are fraudulent, and why?
Well, first off, I would say that the FBI document case in Mar-a-Lago, given that Biden is guilty of the same crime, if it is one, I think that one's fraudulent.
Okay, just curious on that case. What is the crime?
It was, I think it was holding confidential documents after he left the White House, right?
You understand there's an intentionality aspect to that, right? You have to intentionally take and then knowingly hold classified information out of a SCIF. It's not just like accidentally taking it, right? You understand that a lot of what Donald Trump is charged for in the Mar-a-Lago stuff is obstruction of justice because he told his employee to hide documents from NARA and then the FBI, right? Or did you not know that because you haven't read that indictment, but you have a strong enough opinion about it to tweet about it?
I mean, that was a lot of assertion without actually allowing for me to answer. Yeah, I realize that there's intentionality. Do you think that there was no intentionality with Biden having hundreds of documents at his house?
I'm just saying that the 2 cases aren't comparable. The huge aspect of what Trump is being charged with is the obstruction charge, because he told his employee to hide documents.
Do you think it's at all odd that there would be this level of investigation into Trump but not into Biden?
I do think that the Trump stuff was really odd. I think the FBI should have kicked his door down a year earlier. I don't know why the fuck they waited so long. They gave him a year to turn those documents over to NARA, and he shunned them, he ignored them, he lied to them, and he had his employee move boxes around, okay, like a fucking ferret running through a maze before the FBI finally caught wind that there was some bullshit going on. Do you think that NARA didn't give him enough time to respond? Why do you think he didn't turn the documents over when they asked?
Okay, same question for you. Why do you have zero concern about Biden possessing classified documents, but you're totally up in arms over Trump? I don't understand.
I'm gonna keep asking until you answer the question. Why do you think Donald Trump waited a full year to turn those documents over to NARA?
I don't know.
Why do you think he told his employee to hide them?
I haven't seen that's been proven that he told his employee to hide them. What's the evidence for that?
It's literally laid out in the indictments from recorded conversations. Or do you think the FBI is just making it all up?
Well, the FBI did lie to the FISA court to spy on his campaign before he entered the White House. So yeah.
So you think they made everything up in the indictment? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then I don't
think they made up everything.
Okay, I don't think they made up everything. Well, then what do you think about? Why
should I trust the FBI?
Okay, then don't. Then I don't know why the fuck I'm talking to you. If you don't trust any of the institutions or any of the investigative bodies, why did you say anything about EW? You should have opened with that. You should have, no, Destiny, I only trust what I read on Twitter. I don't trust anything from any of our 3 letters. I don't trust those guys. Just open with that next time, and then we don't have to waste any time. Like, you know,
I already told you I'm a libertarian, so you could have assumed that. But yeah,
true, that you're retarded because it's basically one part and parcel the same. Okay.
You don't need to insult people. I don't understand why you need to do that. Okay, let's take a question. Sharika Soul has her hand up. Sharika, you can unmute yourself.
Destiny, I just have to say that you are an adult male, and the way that you're talking to some of the women in here, well, Kat specifically, is actually really disheartening to listen to. Also, I am Black, and I'm kind of tired of white liberals denying the violence in the Black community and using Black Lives Matter, specifically protests, who, by the way, the Black neighborhoods that have the protest, they end up being destroyed and trashed. And it's not you that comes to the neighborhoods and helps clean up those neighborhoods after a protest. So for you to speak on Black Lives Matter protests and say they're not violent or whatever you were trying to say is disrespectful. It's disingenuous, especially to Black women who have to live in those neighborhoods and the Black children.
Thank you as a Black woman for showing up to show that retardation can transcend both gender and race.
I'm not retarded. You're the white man.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck. What do you think I'm speaking on for BLM? This conversation is about BLM. I don't know why why don't even know who the fuck you're talking to right now. I can cuss what I want. What do you mean I can say whatever the fuck I want?
It's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful to what? This is your fucking Twitter space. You're not here to tell me what I can say or not say.
Black Lives Matter out of your mouth. You're a white man.
BLM.
Black people need me. I'm going to be the white savior for BLM. I love BLM. I'm the leader of BLM. I'm the self-appointed leader of BLM.
Oh, yes, I love BLM. Oh, yes, Black Panthers. I'm going to join it right now. Oh, BLM.
Keep it real. Black people.
I am keeping it real.
Black men are violent towards Black women, and we don't need people like you constantly using us for political talking points. Mind your own business and quit talking about a race that you don't know nothing about. We don't know you. You're not in our neighborhood. We don't owe you shit. You don't owe us shit.
Are you lost? Are you lost right now? How did you even wander into here? Are you okay right now?
Distress, and you need to get on medication and stop talking to women crazy. You only talk like that because you're behind a screen. If you were there and she had a whole bunch of men standing by her, there's no way you would keep talking to her like that. You're a punk. Grow up.
Thank you, Sharika. Thank you so much for your valuable contribution. Okay, noted.
Okay, let's try to keep it civil, guys. Let's just try to speak with each other, but not talking over each other. It's hard to hear when, you know, she's trying to speak and you're just going BLM, and we can't understand you guys. You know, it's hard to hear. I'm sure you know this. Like, I shouldn't have to explain that, but one at a time would probably be best. And maybe if you didn't come to speak about BLM, you don't have to speak about it if you don't want to, Destiny. That's fine.
Well, as the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter in my city, I felt it necessary to say I am the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter.
Self-appointed?
So, yes.
Do you think does BLM stand for large mansions? Buy large mansions? Do you know about that?
Yep, I got the largest one, and I only invite my white friends to hang out in it.
Can't you at least just like laugh it off without being so angry? Like, this is
I'm not angry.
None
I'm
of
being
what
very
I
serious
say
right now.
will impact you, you know, in any meaningful way. So can we at least like bond over a mutual disdain for Pearl Davis? Like, come on.
Maybe.
Just like lighthearted, maybe. That's okay. That's progress. I'll take that. I like that. Okay. Does anyone else want to jump in to say anything or to ask a question?
Just because my country has been defrauded by our government into believing mass graves and genocide exists that didn't happen, and I've received threats, you know, that doesn't mean I have to treat every leftist cruelly, nor laugh or mock or celebrate if they are killed, especially when they're innocent and we're just showing up to a rally. And I think there's a much better approach than the one that Stephen has been taking, particularly when, you know.
I think the fact that this guy was tweeting out Putin worship makes it the most fucking hilarious misfire that could have possibly happened.
He deserved to get shot for that?
I didn't say he deserved to get shot. I'm just saying he doesn't deserve any sympathy for it, okay? And it might warrant a laugh or two.
I think you'll find that people care a lot more what you have to say when you acknowledge that they might be human, that they have some integrity that you can kind of show a little bit of respect. I mean, you've got family members that would agree with this guy. I don't think you laugh at them being shot.
I want my mom and dad taught me fuck around and find out as like a first principle of how to navigate the world. So if they ended up going to a fucking rally like this, cheering for a fucking insurrectionist dude or whatever, yeah, they deserve it 50 times over. They served in the Air Force. They know better. They took an oath to the Constitution to serve this country, not to serve a fucking king. Why the fuck? I don't know why you guys ask me this question. Like, what would happen here? What would happen to your parents? Yeah, if they went to a crazy fuck rally like this, if something happened to them, it would be sad. I'd probably personally sad, but what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, what do you expect to happen?
Wait, you think
attending a political rally is a fucking fuck around and find out scenario? Come on.
I think that supporting a prior president that engaged in insurrection. Yeah, I'm tired of pretending like that's just like a normal, ordinary thing that you're supposed to accept as an American citizen. That's unhinged. That is fucking insane to me.
I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you honestly think that people, despite like, yes, I have seen the tweets mentioning the word king. Do you think people want him as king for real?
Yes.
You don't think that you do?
Yep.
Like what causes you to make that conclusion except for them?
Show me a single conservative commentator that had anything critical to say about the criminal immunity case. Show me one that even fucking read half of it, actually. But show me one. Find me one and maybe I'll believe you.
No, just one sec. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about your belief that his supporters, the Trump supporters, would literally make him king if they could.
Yes. They literally call him Emperor Trump. Yeah, it's all a joke. It's just a meme, LOL.
So the people that believe they're fighting for freedom and to preserve the constitutional republic that is the United States,
no one gives a fuck.
Hold on, look, can I just finish? I know you're really skilled. You're really good at it. You're better than me.
You just don't know anything about like Donald Trump literally has tweets on like Truth Social saying he wants to suspend the Constitution, and you're asking me, you don't think the people that are supporting him in the Constitutional Republic they want a king?
Okay, I'll just restart. So once again, like, so the people that champion when, for example, on issues that are not related to the subject, they say, give it back to the states because the states should have the power to say they voted for example, on abortion. Like they say they give it to the states. Is that not them upholding the constitutional republic and the process of the United States?
Because they like the idea of let me answer the question without it being like a rambling like 50 question, okay? And then you ask me the next question you want, okay? No. Okay. When they say throw it back, find me a single conservative who is excited about throwing abortion back to the states as they are about supporting the right for sanctuary cities to exist, and then I'll believe you. No, conservatives don't give a fuck about states' rights. Absolutely not. They only support it in this case because they know that it'll mean less abortion than what there were, that it'll mean less abortion rights than there were before. That's the only reason they support it.
Stephen, real quick, man, you said that basically because Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, attending his rally is supporting a fascist dictator or whatever, and ultimately it's a fuck around and find out scenario. You'd have to then extrapolate that logic to believe that the 70+ million people that voted for him are also guilty of supporting them and therefore fair game and in a fuck around and find out scenario. So am I misreading here? Are you saying that all of these people are open to assassination attempts?
I wouldn't say open to assassination. I'm just saying that if it happens, there should be zero fucking sympathy for anybody involved.
So you believe that basically half of the country deserves no sympathy? Really?
Yes. When half of the country is supporting an insurrectionist, yes. Democracy only works, and if you're a I don't even know what actually I don't know what you're if democracy only works when the people are working to actually like protect it. And when half the people in the country are supporting somebody that is undemocratic, then no, I'm not going to sit here and shed tears for people that end up being the victims of their own insane fucking ideology. No, this is fucking stupid. Why would I waste my time? There are way better things to cry over, like how fucking horrible Game of Thrones turned out. I'm not going to sit here and lose sleep over dipshits that are getting offed as they engage in like insurrectionist supporting rhetoric. That's fucking crazy.
Just on a personal note, man, I really feel like you've lost your humanity. I'm concerned for you, honestly.
Right? And I wish that, and maybe one day, I don't know, maybe if you guys grow up a little bit, maybe you'll know this, saying the most disgusting, horrible shit that you can in a polite tone of voice is one of the most horrible things that you can do as a human being. And the idea that just because you calmly and politely suggest that a guy that tried to overthrow the republic ought to be president, and that's a respectable opinion because you say it with a low voice, is beyond redemption to me. It's disgusting.
Okay, so you think we're disgusting? You think we're a basket of deplorables? Okay, I have a question that's sort of related. I see that a person named Chase Geyser challenged you to a lawful duel under the Texas Penal Code. 22.06. I'm not sure what that means. But then it looks like you blocked him after that. Did you not want to discuss that particular subject with him because you think he's also
why would I accept a lawful duel with somebody?
Well, because because he seems like he would maybe be more equipped to talk about the things that you've read yourself. Maybe he's also,
if he wants to talk about something, then sure, we can talk. Why the fuck? I'm not going to accept a fucking duel. That sounds fucking retarded.
I think that was just his way of saying, can we chat about it? Like, maybe I said it politely and in my soft, disgusting tone that you don't like, but he was.
If he wants to chat, yeah, sure, drag him in. I don't know why we would assume that means debate. I don't know why when Donald Trump says we need to fight like hell to take our country back, you would say, well, that doesn't really mean anything. But when another guy says penal code 112, whatever the fuck, challenge you to a fucking duel, like, I don't know. If you want to drag him in and he wants to chat, we can. But no, it's not like you're just spamming. You just like shit post people that they want to duel.
I don't think I can bring him in.
What's the guy's name on Twitter or whatever?
Hold on one sec. I'll let you know. Chase Geiser?
Oh, yeah, I saw the InfoWars too, so I know that he's like an actual fucking retard as well.
Is everyone a retard because they
people that are on InfoWars are all retards, yes. Like if that guy would have been in the audience, like the bullet would have went one in hole and out the other, and there would have been no damage done. That's how fucking stupid anybody that works at InfoWars is, yes.
Okay. I disagree with that assessment, but okay.
I'm sure you do.
Okay. So you didn't want to talk to him because...
No, if he wants to chat, sure, go for it.
He's from InfoWars.
I unblocked him if he wants to chat. I just said he's stupid. I talk to stupid people for a living. That's why that's how I make my living, yeah.
I have a quick question.
Well, you got to give you props for doing the living with what you're doing. You're pretty successful. So hats off to you for being successful at what you do, I guess. Sorry, did I hear someone chiming in?
Yeah, I just decided to shut up, like holding my hand up too long for a high five.
Go for it, Lauren.
Yeah, Stephen, you tweeted out earlier a Hassan tweet in which he said that every day you've got Republicans calling for concentration camps and something along those lines, and you liked it both and shared it. Can you name a single Republican with an ounce of political power or any sort of sway that has called daily for concentration camps?
I'm pretty sure Hassan's tweet there, if I had to guess, it was in reference to the border policies that Donald Trump has where we were separating people at the border and then keeping them locked up in facilities that were understaffed. Pretty sure that's what that
Do you think that those are concentration camps?
I mean, definitionally, they might have been. I'm not sure. Probably. I don't know. I wouldn't call them that.
Do you think, I mean, you just liked and shared a tweet referring to them as concentration camps. Do you think they are concentration camps or not?
I don't think that I'm going to account for the exactness of a particular insult that's used against a side that doesn't even acknowledge what happened on January 6th. So if there was a person that wanted to critique the particular way that a word or term or definition is used, it sure as fuck wouldn't be somebody on the right. Absolutely fucking not.
Well, I thought your whole qualms with all of this is that the right-wingers aren't actually reading the documents. They don't understand.
No, my qualms with right-wingers is they are anti-American. They don't support the Constitution. They don't support the country that they're a part of, and that they engage in patterns of conceptual and precise pieces of misinformation in order to spread the lies and the mischief and whatever the fuck else they do online. It's not over whether or not they use a particular term right or wrong in a thing. It's the fact that they'll come on and they'll talk about criminal indictments and insurrection without being familiar with any of the underlying material. That's my issue.
Well, luckily I'm a Canadian, and you've got a Canadian asking you.
There's a lot of them in here.
Concentration camps, and it sounds like you're just going to be out here tweeting inflammatory rhetoric with.
Right now, yeah, basically am. I think so, yeah.
That you don't even believe in. You don't think they're concentration camps.
I think it was funny. It was funny enough to. It was funny enough to.
It's your side being wrong.
Well, that's the rules of discourse that the right has said. So yeah, why not have a little bit of fun? They can't have all the fun in this country, right?
I think that's why a lot of people usually respect you, is because you don't usually accept those rules of discourse, whether it be right or left. I mean, even with
unfortunately, when you're a grown up and you live in the whole world, you kind of have to accept. Listen, I've seen enough of your tweets to know you have to accept. If somebody were to go up to you and say, Lauren, why do you have so many problems with housing or immigration in Canada or whatever? And then you're like, well, I've got issues because of X, Y, and Z. Well, hold on. That's just their opinions. Like, you don't have to play by their rules. You don't have to worry about the changes that they impart on your country. You can just do your own thing. No, that's not how it works here, okay? This is like the rules of discourse and the rules of media reporting, the rules of accountability that the right has set. So I'm not going to have the right hold me to some different standard that they themselves don't even begin to approach.
So you're going to be just as moronic as the people you think you're criticizing. That's fine.
I don't think I'm just as... It's not about being moronic. It's about being anti-American. It's about being opposed to democratic rule of law. Yeah. But that's funny. I mean, you can pretend it's the same. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's good. Yep, it is. It's the exact same. It's exact. Calling separation of families at the border a concentration camp. That's the exact same thing as saying January 6th. What was that? Didn't he say
So
mostly
true.
peaceful?
You know what? I think it's wild. I think it's wild that America has concentration camps. In fact, I'd say not trying to get this president out of office, that would be anti-democratic. It's your duty to get this president out of office if he is running concentration camps at the border, right?
I mean, that's what Republicans are saying worse than that now. So I don't know why you think you're making a point.
We have Rob with his hand up. Rob, I've invited you as Speaker Rob Noor. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
That is correct. Thank you so much. Edgelord Destiny, great to be here. Know that you really don't like people that are read up, so happy to beat you around on these subjects like always. To start with, I find most repugnant about what you're doing, not that you're an edgelord making jokes, but that you're a disingenuous sack of shit. Because, as I've debated you in the past, you started talking before January 6th ever occurred about how the BLM riots were justified. It was just the other side of the coin of voting. Of course, once you realized that grift wouldn't do as well for you when you were debating the Rittenhouse shit, you completely 180'd your position.
Hold on, just to be clear, wait. I don't think I've ever supported violent riots against private property. I don't know if I've ever supported that in the US. The farthest my position ever went was if people wanted to violently riot against public property, that maybe that's defensible. I'm pretty sure that's the farthest I've ever gone, even prior to Rittenhouse. I don't know where that opinion comes from. I've always supported protests and even riots to some extent, as long as it's not against private property. But
that is exactly true. What you said to me was, even though you weren't sure how much of the violence was against private property versus public, but to the extent that the George Floyd riots were against public property, you said that that's fine. If you feel the system's not working for you, we're America, goddammit, and rioting's the other side of the coin to voting. Now, when that occurs on January 6th, all of a sudden...
Did I ever say rioting is the other side of the coin to voting?
I believe
that's a really strange statement if I did. That's a really strange statement, but go ahead. Okay.
I will try to find the clip for you. But you said that they were justified at the time. Then what's even more egregious is your take on January 6th. You initially had said to at least one other person, a left-wing streamer, and on a panel that I was on, that it was absurd to think this was a serious attempt to overthrow the government by the riot that day. You basically alluded to the fact that because there were so many people that outnumbered the police, that it's clear if they really were trying to violently overthrow the government, they'd have taken far greater actions. Now you're suggesting that people that disagree with your new position, that this was clearly an insurrection, are people that are fucking around and should find out because they can't call it out. Can you?
What do you think is the difference? Yeah, sure. What do you think is the difference between then and now, Rob?
There is no difference materially on the actions of the people. There is a huge
difference in what we knew publicly at the time. There is a huge difference in what was publicly known. You can go and I'm sure you've listened to me and Pisco argue about this at length on my channel. I was massively against the concept of it being an insurrection originally until it came out that there were some Proud Boys people there that were trying to coordinate some shit. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe. But then once all of the Trump stuff came out, abso-fucking-lutely on Donald Trump's end, 100%, he was engaging in insurrection and he was utilizing the protesters to do as much. Now, whether or not all of the protesters themselves, knowingly, even the ones that broke in, knew that they were part of an insurrection or not, at this point, I kind of lean towards yes, but I'm not like as on it. But Donald Trump, absolutely and unequivocally yes.
The difference is the actions that were taken by people that day are what would constitute an insurrection. And those actions have been on display for you to see the public evidence of the day of January 6th and all throughout after that. And you correctly came to the conclusion that it was a riot that got out of hand. Now, let's say that you think because of evidence, you even specifically said, of course, there might have been some Proud Boy type people there LARPing. They might have done some bad shit. But the overwhelming majority of the people that were there, it was not a serious attempt to overthrow the government. It was a riot. Now, let's say that you've since heard evidence of things Donald Trump did. That doesn't change whether the action itself was an insurrection. You have no evidence that Trump willfully told those people to go be violent. And in fact, the irony is,
hold on. Yep. Donald Trump invited all of those people to Washington to give a speech on the 6th at the same time that he had given Pence 7 false slates of electors and pressured him to accept them. And then he sent them all to the Capitol building, I guess, hopefully to protest to delay the certification of the vote. And as it was being delayed, he made calls to the lawmakers continuing to try to delay the certification of the vote. And the people at the White House or at the Capitol building were using violence as part of the protest/riot. That's an insurrection.
That is not an insurrection. And if you call that an insurrection and narrow the definition as such, then you would have to admit that things like May 31st, 2020, where there were violent left-wingers that, unlike January 6th, used lethal weapons, injured 47 guards, burned down a guard station, and attempted to get into the White House to the point where Trump had to be removed into a bunker, which then many on the left, including Joe Biden, mocked him for having to go to the bunker. That would also be an insurrection. And one of the points I want to get across,
Rob, just as a quick thing, okay? All right, this is the difference between me and every single spineless fuck on the right. If you were to give me an example of this, and if the examples were to lay out the criteria that I've set forth for an insurrection, what do you think I would say?
Well, you know of this. I would think you would say that there are some sort of meaningless differentiations because no two situations will ever be completely analogous.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not true. What I would say, and I'll say it right now, that's not true. It's funny that you think that there's a shortage of criticism for fucking BLM or whatever on my side, when that's one of the things I'm the most criticized for. That's fucking hilarious. But no, if you were to show me that there was some organized group of people who were trying to circumvent or overthrow some fucking government process, and that they did so in a means that incorporated violence, I'd probably say, oh, wow, I guess that could probably qualify as an insurrection too. Sure. That's probably what I would say if I was assuming I saw the evidence.
Okay, then real quick, because the FBI decided not to have a massive task force because Democrats seemed to say it was mostly peaceful, the National Guard shouldn't be deployed, et cetera, because that investigation didn't take place. Use your best judgment. What do you think a bunch of violent lefties with Molotov cocktails attacking the White House, injuring 47 guards and burning down a guard station in an attempt to get into the White House, what do you think their motivations were?
I truly have no fucking idea. I haven't looked into it at all.
Right. Isn't it convenient? The FBI never investigates the things that occur on the Democrat side. And then you say, well, what can we do? We don't have evidence.
The FBI never investigates. Hold on. I'm sorry. What did Hunter Biden get convicted of? For having drugs in a video? So therefore he lied on a 4473 for a firearm? Hold on, the FBI never investigates their own or Democrats or convicts them? What was the whole fucking, not Durham, what was the thing about Biden and the fucking documents or whatever, that whole special counsel or whatever that was appointed by Merrick Garland, the Democrat DOJ? And I'm sorry, who did Donald Trump pardon? Every single fucking person that got convicted that was part of him? How the fuck are you trying to say there's a double standard here that doesn't exist on the Republican side? You're insane, Rob.
The rapidity in raising your voice is unimpressive to me. I could do it just as well without.
Do it then, knock yourself out.
Nonetheless, right? No, it's clear. For example, let's take those one by one. The investigation into Biden, it was covered up from the get-go. The only reason that it ever resulted in any charges was because two whistleblowers from the IRS outed the fact that the FBI was covering for this. Now we know the CIA was as well. Then a judge blew apart the sweetheart plea deal that was given to Hunter Biden. So with egg on their face, they charged him with the most meaningless crime that couldn't be connected to his father and their family, which was a gun charge when he was high, which I don't even think he should have been charged for.
Hold on, this happened under Donald Trump's administration. Wouldn't it have been his FBI?
Yes, his same FBI that wanted an insurance policy and preventing him. The same FBI that for 4 years leaked to the press and illegally spied on him. Yes.
The same FBI where Comey came out and he made statements to the press about Hillary's email usage in a totally unprecedented manner. The same FBI that
had.
Are
you going to clown yourself on this again after the last time I clowned you on this? Where you had to admit that you're wrong? Sure, everyone in the audience, me and Destiny went back and forth for over an hour on this. And the IG report showed that actually the reason that Comey did that and then had to come out later and re-announce the opening of the Hillary investigation was because the FBI intentionally sat on the fact that there were more emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Your entire argument hinges, and the same thing that you just put forth now hinges on the idea that one or two whistleblowers can force the hand of a three-letter to make anything public, ignoring the fact that people like Julian Assange have been like fucking pushed out of the country for like over a fucking decade. You're telling me that the FBI or whatever, they're so fucking corrupt that they can engage in all this cover, that they'd be pressured to have one or two whistleblowers make the media like force them to release shit? They can just ignore it, and American minds move on in literally 1 fucking week.
So you see how Destiny laments when he's talking to left-wingers that don't understand the facts of the case, how they're uninformed. But when Preston, someone's more informed of these IG reports than him, that show this is exactly what happened, that Comey himself admitted that the reason he came out was because there was this whistleblower that was going to come out, and he was afraid that the FBI would have an albatross on their neck because the American people would be furious after the election to find out that there was an allegation that the FBI sat on evidence of Hillary's potential criminality, and he got blown up in that debate. He knows it, but he defaults to these meaningless platitudes as saying, well, there could never be corruption from whistleblowers outing because if that was the case, then whistleblowers would have always outed, or the FBI would have been more corrupt and taken care of them. It's nonsensical. And so furthermore, then, let's go into the Herbert. Oh, I'll finish with this. The Biden business, the Hunter Biden business, what they didn't charge was the obvious FARA violations because they didn't want it to connect to Joe Biden. The fact that Hunter Biden was working with the spy chief of China, with the executives in Burisma that were considered by Joe Biden himself to be corrupt foreign oligarchs, and was lobbying to the United States and no doubt his father. Those are the crimes that aren't being charged.
Okay, sorry, hold on. I stepped away for a minute. I'm so sorry. I know that you were doing your whole fucking rant.
I'm very good at it.
Relating to the insurrection stuff, do you agree that Donald Trump tried to get 7 false leads of electors